So we're going to look at how to create a rubric, and a rubric must be created in an assignment. It can't be in a quiz. So a quiz or material, for example. So I'm going to click New Assignment, and I'll call this your best pet. Then what I'm going to do is, of course, I'd likely add instructions and materials, but over here we're just going to focus right on the rubric. So down here I'm going to hit plus rubric, and I have three choices. I can create a new one, I can reuse one that I've previously created, or I can actually import one from sheets that maybe I had previously used and exported there as well. Today we're just going to look at create rubric. So I have two different things that are happening. I'm going to have my criterion and my levels. Before we get there, I do want to note that we can actually turn scoring on and off. So you can see here that there's scoring on and it says out of 1. If I change this and turn scoring off, you'll see that this is no longer any points. So it would allow me to assign a level or some criterion, but not necessarily a point. And then this would also not push into the grade book with points. For this one, we're going to show what it looks like for scoring. So we'll say this is an English assignment. And so we will do ideas. And that is one of my categories or criteria that I'm going to be grading. And then this next section is the level. I could include a criterion or a description of what that would include. For today, we'll just skip that. So we're going to say this first one is 1, and my level is limited. And again, I could add a description. Now I want to add another one, and I'm going to skip right to satisfactory, and I'm going to make that a 3. Now I could have a 2-point and a 3-point, a 4-point, and 5-point, but for this grid, I'm just going to do a 5, a 3, and a 1, and this will be excellent. Okay, so those are my writing skills. Now, I can add a criterion down here, and I can retype that all over, or I can come up here to these 3 little timbits, and I can say duplicate criterion. And so now I have ideas up here, and we're going to change this to writing skills. So because I've duplicated, I don't have to type all of this out. But now let's say, geez, I think I should have ideas worth more. So I can come back up here, and I can simply maybe double these. So now these points are changing. Now watch up here as the points will change in my item. As soon as I made this 10, the total goes to 15. You'll also notice that it ordered it from lowest points or highest points, to lowest, even though I had typed in lowest to highest. So that will be its default. If I changed to 10 points down here, watch this 15, that would automatically go to 20, right? So whatever the highest point is, it calculates. All right, so now I can press save, and I have 2 criterion in my rubric. It'll tell me that it's 15 points. If I came back in here, this is what it would look like when I am scoring it. I would click, and you can see I don't have any descriptors. If I had descriptors, those would show up there. So I can minimize that. I can show one or the other. And this is where I would export this to sheets. If this was a rubric that I intended to use often, I can come back and edit it as well. And I can also pick it up. Even without exporting it to sheets, I can reuse a rubric from this spot. So that is how to